Vinaka. My name is Anna and I will be doing a presentation on human development. Introduction. Human development simply means a process whereby every person goes through. It consists of the life stages that every individual goes through in their life. This includes the infant stage, going into the toddler stage, and then going into the early childhood stage, and then so forth. This presentation will be basically discussing the concepts of childhood development phase, and with Bronfenbrenner's theories. Furthermore, it will be highlighting the of my personal views and perspectives towards human development. Overview of Yuri Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory. Bronfenbrenner's belief system is based in the subject of human development. So in this case, he claims that the child's development uh, is basically depends on the environment or the surroundings where the child was brought in. Um, Unlike Piaget's and Erickson's theory, they basically focus on just one single aspect uh, compared to Bronfenbrenner's theory. He focused on the environment as a whole that significantly affects the child's development. So the ecological theory is quite about the cultural context in the Pacific, with the well-being or growth of a child being affected by the kind of environment his or her was exposed to. In numerous Pacific cultures, the majority of values, norms, and teachings come from places where children were raised. As I have said, the environment where the child is brought up in affects its development. Moving on to the next slide. So from Yuri Bronfenbrenner's theory, he then divided into four layers. Four layers. So the first layer, it includes the microsystem. Second one is the mesosystem. Third one is the exosystem, and lastly the macrosystem. So microsystem is basically the first interaction the child gets with. For instance, when a child is born, the first interaction the child has with other parents, normally parents, the grandparents, the uncles, the aunts, even the society as well. So mesosystem simply emphasizes on the interaction between the microsystems. Microsystem, for instance, the interaction between the child and the teacher, or the parents and the school, the interaction they have towards each other. So the third layer would be exosystem. Exosystem is like to simply define, is like the what has been done not directly to the child, but it affects the child's development. For example, work relations, parents' work relations, something that that doesn't concern the child, but it affects its development. And lastly, macrosystem concept focuses on the broader perspective of the child's culture, traditional practices, and also the religion the child's in. All the four layers is simply being defined as the environment that affects the child's development. Moving on to the next slide. Early childhood and preschool. Okay, early childhood, as we all know, it ranges from the 2 years old to the 6 years old. From that age to to 6 years old, where the child starts to go to school, preschool. Early childhood is a crucial stage for children as it allows them to develop their social, cognitive, and emotional skills. In this case, early childhood is where the where the where there is rapid growth, and the child is dependent on its surroundings, or environment. So this is where the stage they develop their mindset, their emotional skills, and also their social interactions with others. This is the stage where they learn a lot of things from their environment or the surroundings they are brought up in. So Pacific cultural contexts are similar to this, wherein extended family members and the community itself provide this child with a strong cultural bond. So in this life phase or stage, this is where the child learns a lot of things from its surroundings, concerning on the 4 layers that I have discussed in the previous slide. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Microsystem concept in the Pacific cultural context. The environment of where the child was brought in includes the families, peers, care providers, society, and school. For instance, in a Fijian household, many lived with their extended families. So when they are starting to grow, starting to develop, they interact with these family members, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, as well the parents. So the first learning takes place at home. Before the child goes into preschool, the first initial learning takes place at home. The child is where the child is being nurtured, is being loved, and being well cared for. This significantly affects the development of a child. The child's development depends on the environment where they are brought up in. If they are being brought up in a house where there is too much violence, too much fighting, and so on, it will affect the child's development. The child will tend to act in a way that tend to react. Its mind, its emotional skills will tend to react from there. It tend to react towards the situation happening at home. They can react this type of behavior at school, and so on. Mesosystem context in the Pacific cultural context. The interaction between these microsystems in many Pacific societies, the church teach about religion and morality through interaction between families, in an environment where the school and parents and those traditional norms and values. So in this case, many for us in the Pacific cultures, many interaction we can see is the families, the church and the school, where the church teach about morality and values. Also for the schools, they taught the child on how to value respect, respect one another, and also from at home, on how they are being taught, taught, taught in the values, and what is right and what is wrong. Moving on to the next slide, ecosystem, as we have, as I've discussed in the previous one of the previous slide. Indirect circumstances that impact a child's development. For instance, the parent's work status can have an effect on the child's development. For instance, for us, many Pacific Islanders have moved, urbanization, have moved to overseas and other countries like that. So somehow it affects the child's development, moving from one place to another, and then from that place to another again. It affects the child's development as as they move into the new environment. It will take a time for them to adjust, and they are exposed to many new things, many new things, many new things. Yeah. Cultural norms and practices. Um, the practices and culture of a Pacific cultural are huge. They are able to promote their values through various forms of storytelling and traditional events. They collaborate to carry out their task. As we have known, in the Pacific culture, we like to do work collectively. We like to work together as a community. Um, so the culture, norms, and practices. The child, when the child is growing up, is being brought up in a particular society. It might it might it might it might face or seen or observe or attend some of the traditional practices that takes place in the village. The traditional practices, the storytelling that the village elders used to do. Um, it this enables the child to capture on the value of our traditional practices and the importance of our culture. For example, mostly in the Fijian society, mostly we used to have the traditional events like the Angona ceremony, the Wama Mother, where the Wama Mother is being presented to the other side of the family. Um, Also, some of the storytelling that the village elders used to tell, this affects the development of the child. It enables them to understand the culture and norms, culture, culture, culture and norms and practices of our of our society. So children in a Fijian village learn survival techniques, farming and fishing. This is through observing, observing the traditional practices that the village elders used to do. Through by observing and meditating, they are able to grasp and understand of what the elders are doing. Uh, uh, they are able to learn the survival techniques. This includes the farming, fishing, and yeah. Lastly, my view and perceptions towards human development. For me, I strongly agree to what to Yuri Bronfenbrenner's theory on human development, based on my early childhood experience. The first bullet point, as I have experience teaching from various people, such as my grandparents, aunts and uncles, and my parents. The embedded important values like respect, humbleness, and teamwork through regular social interactions. This is a representation of my interconnected system. Through my early childhood days and preschool days, I have lived with I live with my extended family. So mostly I spend a lot of time with my grandparents. So grandparents, aunts, and uncles. So through them, I have uh, I have learned about so many things. I have learned how to care one another, how to respect other people, and also the importance of humbleness, and teamwork. Teamwork by working together in the society, working together as a society, working together as a whole. So through my early childhood experiences, I think these are the people I have interact with that helps me to to have a fair understanding of what this what this what this moral values are. So in my experience in my early childhood days, my grandparents and the other family members, they they have loved me, cared for me. They have nurtured me in such a way that I feel that I'm being loved, and I'm being loved, then that I am important, I am worthy of, despite of what other people outside thinks. The second point, my parents used to monitor my academic and behavioral progress through meetings with my teachers. This represents my mesosystem layer, as I've discussed in the previous slide. Teachers and parents, they work together to make sure the children in my village cultivate good character traits. This enables them to teach them on what is good what is right and what is wrong. The third point, discuss the ecosystem, where many parents in my village, many moved to New Zealand and the US for work relations. So for this is about this is about the work that the parents have. So somehow this affects the child. The child is affected. The child is affected. For example, it may have the child might have good support, uh, might have it might have not good support. It might have it might lessen the time with their children. So the parents stay at overseas and the child stays at home. So this lessens the time, and there is a time. There is a there is a there is a there is less time spent with the children, so it affects their development. The child tends to react this way. The child tends to get sad that the parents not there to support her or him in their work, school work, and so on. At a deeper level, at the second last point, at a deeper level, I have been exposed to various cultural and traditional practices as a child. So for me, I grew up in a village. For me, I've been exposed to many traditional events that takes place in my village. Usually, I used to be as a as a as a early child. I've been observing and listening to the stories that the elders used to tell. And also I have been able to understand the importance of my culture, my Fijian culture, and also I have been able to practice the survival skills they have taught us. For example, for some of the learning that I have I have experienced fishing with the women in the village, and also I've been in a I have been I have performed in a traditional Fijian women's make. So this enables me to realize the importance of my culture and the importance of how the villages the elders when the elders tell stories on the stories and the stories of our ancestors so from all this experience, I have believed that I have been it helped to shape my character for who I am now. It helped with my mindset and also with my social interaction with other people and my and my emotions. So I strongly agree to what has Bronfen Brand Van Brenner's theories on human development, and I believe his theory goes well with the early childhood life stage, as this is the stage where the child gets to develop its social, emotional, and cognitive development. So the child's development, it depends on the environment where the child was brought in. If the child was brought in an environment where there is a lot of violence that takes place in the family, where the child is not nurtured enough or loved enough, this affects the child's development. So I'll be ending my presentation this evening. Thank you.